Mm.
Going on?
Good morning.
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 Morning. Just got done with a mind-blowing tax call that I hosted for Tom Bacon. Fascinating stuff.
Who's Tom Bacon?
Tom Bacon is on our team, and he had this tax attorney come in about. I'm not even gonna. What was the top? What was the technical topic of that? Parent-child exclusion on property tax reassessment.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I should. It was fascinating stuff. It basically ways to preserve, especially in California with Prop 13, the property tax basis with the use of LLCs and um, technicalities over 50% transfer and stuff to um, keep that property tax basis where it was. It's fascinating. Absolutely.
What's Prop 13? I've heard you guys say that a few times. I'm in Washington State, so I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Prop 13 for California, I think it was like 72, or I forget when that got when did Prop 13 get put in place? What it does is it keeps your let's say like in 1980 you bought a house for $1 million and your property taxes were 1%, or how much did I say? $1 million?
That's a big old
No,
house.
that start over. You bought a house for 100 grand, and this is actually like true in, let's say, the peninsula, like Palo Alto area. Let's say they bought a house in the 70s for 100 grand, and their property taxes are just say 1% of that 100,000 per year. Now, over the last, how long is that? 80 years? At 80? No. How long is
45?
45?
1980, right? Yeah, 45 years.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That property is now worth literally say 10 million.
Yeah.
So property taxes are still based on that 100,000 acquisition. They don't reassess it every year like they do in most. So it preserves that property tax basis with a statutory annual increase, which is minimal.
That's nice.
So that applies to commercial assets as well, which is where it's, if you sell somebody something, an investment property in, well, I'll give you a great example, multifamily in California. And we'll see this routinely come up as a mistake in offering memorandums, is that they'll show what the return is. Well, the property's been held for 30 years, and that property tax that they show in the OM is the current, and they don't show what the new property tax would be based on the new acquisition price. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah,
And those are
because
all
the taxes will
marginal dollars.
change with the transfer.
And
Okay.
sometimes dramatically as well. We've sold like the Rite Aid that we're dealing with up in Shasta right now. I think the original property tax was like 2.5 million or something, and then the sale was in or about the $6 million range. So the increased property taxes were 40,000 plus per year based on that sale. In that case, it was a triple net lease. So Rite Aid was responsible for that new tax basis, but they also have in their lease the ability to argue those property taxes down since they pay it in the triple nets. So Prop 13 California is did you see what year it was? 78? I wasn't too far off. 1978. And are there any other states that have anything like that? Does anybody know the answer to that question? Any other states have anything like Prop 13? I'll have the answer here in a second. So anyway, where it gets really, our lovely governor has played with the idea of dumping Prop 13. But
Are you getting on Friday?
Yeah.
me? Oh, I thought
Sorry.
you were talking to me, Kenny. If they all of a sudden got rid of Prop 13, if you had a office property that was not a triple net lease structure with a bunch of tenants in there, and you had held it for 20, 30 years and your property taxes were low, if all of a sudden they did away with that and the property taxes escalated because of that, it could throw, lots of properties into financial disarray and immediately into technical default with their loans. So it's pretty scary proposition. Residential, it sucks, but there's just so much turnover. But you change the rules of the game overnight on that aspect with commercial property owners with commercial debt in place, and it could be absolutely catastrophic. So, yes.
No, you combine that with, remember we were talking about that one bill where it's if you have a certain amount of employees,
Protected.
less on a lease, right? You
Yeah.
can't pass the net costs on to them.
Mm-hmm.
So how would that work out?
We've had a couple of those come up lately where I didn't even think about it, but how many, wave your hand if you're in California? Okay. Is that whole, I think it was LJ that brought in that lovely news about whatever SB nonsense that was, but essentially it limited the landlord's ability to pass on expenses to sort of a protected class, which is any small business. So if you had Juan's Chinese food or you had Panda Express is going to have to pay the new tax bill or higher triple nets, whereas Juan's Chinese food, if it was a small business in there under that SB Senate bill, you would not be able to pass that on, which eliminates the ability to sell some properties like Class B retail if they have triple net leases. If somebody was looking to sell that on, say, a 6.5 cap based on the NOI, and all of a sudden you can't recapture the new property tax, I mean, you could be lopping off millions of dollars of value on that property by the passage of that bill, which did pass. So it's definitely something, and I forgot about it a couple times, and I forget who in our office brought it up and said, hey, does LJ's lovely little bill apply to this? I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even think about that. I think it gets lost by a lot of people, actually. Does anybody remember what properties we were looking at that came up on? Oh, oh yeah, we have one in contract right now for 8.2 million, something like that, and everybody in that would fall into that category. But I think they're existing, for some reason, their existing property tax is way above what their original acquisition was. I'm not even sure how that occurred, but that was one where I totally forgot about it. So keep your eyes open if you are in California. Somebody sent me a chat. What SB bill is this? I don't know. LJ, can you hear us, or are you doing something? Anybody remember what LJ's bill is?
I think it's SB 1103, but there's so many. I'm not sure.
1103?
I think so, yeah.
You check that SB 1103? Yeah. Yeah, there's yep, qualified commercial tenants. Good job, Stephen. I'm
AI.
making a...
Good SB.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we got? Problems, issues? Hey, Lewis, good to see you.
Same here, sir. Thank you.
You know, I just saw Lewis in Nashville, and it was sort of interesting. People are always watching you. There's some saying about a graveyard that and tombstones that drives this home, but I forget what it was. Anyway, saw Lewis in Nashville at Coach Bert's Success Factory, had a EXP event out there. And anyway, he said that I was, well, what did you say, Lewis, about my note taking?
I don't know, Frank, you know, yeah, I'm very new in the industry, but seems to me that I told him that you are well experienced, have so many years in the industry, very well respected. And the entire day I saw him taking notes for every single of the presenters. That was something that I told him that is very respectful. I mean, he doesn't think that he's above anybody. He was taking notes for every single one of the presenters, no matter if that was the first time presenting, it's been in the industry for so many years, and that is something actually I admire about him. I told him that he earned my respects that day. That was definitely something that very cool. I really appreciate him doing that. So you guys have him as a mentor and as a boss or working in the same office, you're very lucky about it.
Well, I appreciate that. I didn't mean it to be as much as a plug as that was, but
Absolutely.
the important takeaway is two takeaways. One, if I flew out to Nashville and spent an entire day there and just sat there and didn't take notes, that would be foolish. And if you think you can't learn something from everybody, you are foolish. And the other thing, which just really hit home, you never know who's listening or watching you, and what the example you are making for others is, regardless of who you are or where you are. So never occurred to me that anybody would be watching to see whether I'm taking notes or not, or what kind of witness or statement that would make. So I appreciate you letting me know that, Lewis, very much.
I wasn't watching you, you know. I want to make sure that I don't say that that's you were just right in front of me and it called my attention with your notepad.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. So then
Yeah.
after that, yes.
No, I
was
didn't mean it that way. It's just you noticed, and people
Absolutely.
noticing. Luckily, I wasn't picking my nose or doing something else, but
You're
taking
right.
notes was good. Yeah, I think I had 15 pages of notes And then I converted all of those and typed them all out as well. And then dropped them into AI to kind of consolidate it. So always be learning. And the other part of it, just as a plug, and in fact, I think I talked to you guys about this book that one of my accountability calls that I'm on. Tom drops good books, but The Gap and the Gain, I just got done reading that. Fabulous book. But there is, if you haven't read it, it's definitely a good read and provides some unique perspective on your day. I'm using it every day since I read it. The Gap and the Gain. But there's always something to be gained by every experience, every speaker, whether or every interaction, even if it sucks. As I often tell people that are complaining about somebody or some event, the benefit is you know who you don't want to be and you know what you don't want to do, which is oftentimes more important than figuring out what you do want to do and who you do want to be. So don't discount those negative examples and experiences. They're important, very important. Actually, more. We are wired to be negative anyway. So if you run into that negative stuff, you might as well use it. So what kind of deal problems do we have today? Any
I have
issues?
one, not
What
a
do you-
problem, but if you're gonna kind of love it and still working on it. I got called in for a building that was just changed ownership. I went out to the building. I was with a residential agent. Basically, the agent is kind of representing the owner, and the building basically had a tenant in it that refused to open up the electronic gate. The agent went, she called in the locksmith and the police.
Hold on 1 second. Let me back up. I may have missed something. So the property changed ownership
Yes, but there was a lease.
and there's a lease in place, and is it a single tenant?
It is. That's taking
Okay.
up the whole building. It's a multi-tenant building, but one tenant is taking up the whole building.
Okay.
Yeah, and we didn't have leases. I didn't have any information other than what I was told. And then once we were able to get access,
Why are
I
you there? Why are you there?
They needed help, commercial agents' help. So the
For what?
goal is to bring me in on the deal to lease the buildings.
But it's already leased?
Well, that was the kicker. I didn't know it was leased when I got there.
Got it.
Yeah.
And
So
did the residential agent know?
no, she was unsure.
So this was an all cash acquisition, no loan.
No, all cash. No
And
loan.
so why did I know that?
With the
Anybody
tenants.
know why I knew that?
There would have been an estoppel certificate filled out.
Very good,
Mhm.
Kimberly. Yeah. That is the purpose of an estoppel. And when you have an all cash transaction, there's no bank in the background asking for those estoppels. So go ahead, LJ.
Yeah. So we went in. I eventually asked, are there any leases that I can read through? And that's when I was told about the leases. And I was sent the leases.
Let me back up one more. So this tenant wouldn't let you in the gate. What
Absolutely
happened?
not.
What happened with that?
They ended up letting us in. So
Okay.
we ended up getting in.
You all realize that whoever was there, that they had no obligation to let you in?
That, and that was when I asked for leases. When I found out there was a tenant,
Got it.
because I wasn't sure who the person was that let us in. I thought maybe it was the new owner, had no idea. Come to find out, it was the actual tenant that was there.
Got
And
it.
that's when I started asking for leases because the locksmith was already called, the police were called, right? And I said, okay, I need to see some leases to find out what's going on. And then I finally got a set of leases. Originally, the agent was going to have the locksmith lock up, change all the locks. And that's once I found the leases, I said, although this is a month-to-month lease now, they've been out of their lease since 2023, and they're still acquiring the building. We legally cannot do anything. Like we
Excellent.
cannot change these locks.
Good
Absolutely
job.
not. And because they were going to change the locks, I mean, change them all and try to have the tenant escorted out. And I said, well, we cannot do that, especially with the new law that came into place. It basically puts commercial in kind of this residential sector of we still have to give them 60 days because, and I started kind of counting. I said, well, how many employees? And well, it's only 3 employees. I said, well, they're qualified tenant under SB 1103. So there's no just trying to get them out of there. But they apparently they haven't.
How
paid
does
any-
SB 1103 have to, what does that have to do with evictions or
Because we have,
termination?
it has to be, if they're a qualified tenant, it has to be 60 days notice.
Oh, 60 instead of 30. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be 60. So I said, we can't change a lock. We can't call a cop. We can't do anything but walk away and try to get as much contact information as possible. That's just about it. And I sent information to the new owner, letting them know there's nothing as an agent that I can do right now. They absolutely have to go through the eviction process at this point.
Yep.
Quite interesting. I will let you know. I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Yeah. And a little unfortunate tidbit here is that even if that was a homeless person occupying the property, the cops are not going to get rid of them. Somebody in a black robe has to determine whether that individual has a right to the property or not. You don't just, the cops aren't going to state that depending on the jurisdiction you're in. And even in my own experience, if you have vagrants on your property and if they have furniture of any kind, you can't even get them removed by the cops. If the guy's just sitting there by himself, you can say, hey, he's trespassing, get rid of him. If he has a chair, if he has a mattress, you just ventured into the 3-day and unlawful detainer world where you have to serve the individual, which is just mind friggin' blowing.
A commercial space?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
seriously?
Oh no, I had one of my Dutch Bros sites. I'll try to be nice about this. Yeah, I was getting fined because of the vagrant activity out there. And our site was clean. And by fines, we're talking thousands of dollars. And we kept it clean. And I go out there one day and this guy's got 3 mattresses, one that he's laying on and the other 2 make like a tent. And I go out there, it's like 104 degrees. And I get my weed eater and I'm weed eating around the perimeter. And I get over to him and I said, hey, I need you to move. And he starts quoting stuff LJ probably knows about, all of his legal rights. And I'm like, yeah. So the owner is getting fined because of your presence and you need to just go across the street. Anyway, turned into a bit of a confrontation. And apparently that parcel was deemed as a crazy guy over there. So once I threw his mattresses out away, nobody came over again. And I fixed that problem. But had I called the cops, they would have said, hey, he's got mattresses here. We can't do anything about it.
What if it's
You
a
gotta-
sleeping bag?
I
Any
don't,
type of furniture, any type of furniture counts. So I had a couple of properties here in the high desert that I had to monitor twice a week in the case that somebody was there. And what what we forget, and some agents don't do, is you have to go to the local police department and file a notice of agency. That's the only way the cops will do anything. And you have to post the trespassing signs. The smart ones will take them down, and you just have to go back up and put them back up.
Yeah.
I just-
We had one for Wells Fargo that a homeless guy occupied a bakery building, and he played the Wells Fargo legal team for 11 months. He was in that building and they could not get rid of the guy. It's fascinating. If they know how to play the game, it can be super dangerous. What were you saying, Stephen?
Two things real quick. Regarding furniture, I mean, I know we're talking furniture. I know this may be splitting hairs, but it might be important one day. Like, is a quilt that they're laying on or a sleeping bag considered furniture? I mean, what? And I think it's probably safer just to go file the notice of agency anyways, right? But if we're splitting hairs, what is considered furniture?
I don't, that's a really good question. My interpretation is a chair, or a mattress or something like that. So what you don't want to do is have somebody that's got a couch there
Sure. Yeah.
and you wait around for 3 days before the cops show up, because that's a low priority call for him, obviously. And then they say, oh, he's got furniture, you got to do a 3-day, at least you know to get rid of the couch if at all possible.
Okay. And going back, the other thing I had was, and sorry, I might have been looking at a message or something. Sorry if I missed this. LJ's issue with the tenancy right there. How could have in the cash deal, what process could have been completed during the transaction that would have alleviated the issues that are happening right now?
Estoppel, that would have
Estoppel.
codified, tenancy rights, who's on the property, how long they've been there, what the documentation is. And any bank would have required that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And estoppel, just so you know, is basically just a statement from, so wave your hand if you know what estoppel is. Okay. So an estoppel is basically a document that if Caden is leasing his office from me and I own it, and I provide that lease to Federico, who's going to buy it, and it says it's a 5-year lease and it's current, Caden will be given a document, an estoppel, that just basically verifies that the terms of the lease are accurate and there's no outstanding promises or options or something like that in place. So it's a verification document that of rights to tenancy, if you will. That is not a
Sounds
technical,
kind of like a quick claim deed. Is that different?
no, it's just a statement that validates the terms of the lease are accurate, that he's current, no promises, what it avoids is you buy a property and let's say it's a 5-year lease and there's 4 years into it and you're thinking you're going to occupy it in a year. And then all of a sudden the tenant comes up and says, no, I have 2 more 5-year options on this addendum. If he didn't state that in the estoppel and there's no constructive notice or actual notice of the existence of that option, then he's kind of lost that right. Does that make sense? And well, that's a bad example. I was going to use Vintage Park, but yeah, that's the intent. And if there's no lender oversight, a lot of those things can fall through, just like phase 1 requirements. That's why when anybody brings up a piece of property, first thing I do is say, hey, when's the last time debt was placed on it? If it's a commercial asset, because if Wells Fargo or Exchange, if somebody put debt on it in the last 5-10 years, you have a reasonable belief that it's probably okay. If there's been no debt on the property for the last 30, 40 years, then your concern raises a bit. Yeah. John.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. So yeah, and that also helps to, like, when you're doing multifamily, it helps the new buyer, and obviously the bank makes it, like you said, a contingent before closing is going to be part of the contingency. Because sometimes I've come to find out when you're buying Class C properties, sometimes the landlord, there's a lot of unscrupulous owners out there. They'll start filling in the properties immediately, and then they'll make these fake leases that they've been there, for 5 years, 3 years. So you think you're getting an apartment complex full of seasoned tenants. And so what happens is you give these estoppels to every single tenant, and you make it a contingency that you got to get every single tenant, every single estoppel back. So now what you're basically now you got confirmation that this tenant, and for some reason, if they're coursed, and
If they're what?
If the owner courses with the tenant saying, hey, you've been here for a year, right? And the tenants just
What's that word you're using? Course?
the coercion, when the owner and they conspire together.
Oh, coercion. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Coerced. I got it.
Yeah, coercion. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or they conspire together. This has happened. So now all of a sudden you come to find out after a week or two into new ownership, that this was all set up. Now you have, basically some legal issues here to go back at towards, the previous owner. Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about my property in Yukon, Arizona with Zaxby's before, but exactly that group that did the development for Sterling, they absolutely knew what was going on. I got an estoppel in that case. But literally I closed on Thursday, and Monday Sterling called and said he was going dark and shutting down. Everybody knew what they were doing. And what was going to happen except me. So sometimes owners don't know, sometimes they do know. What else we got?
Coach.
Yep.
This is Christopher, on the Lincoln land deal.
Yes, sir.
I sent you a copy of the previous listing agent's offering memorandum. I don't know next steps on, do we hire an agency to create it or use one of the I forget the tool that people use to put
Canva?
Canva or the
build out. You're talking about build out.
build out.
Yeah, the marketing stuff I believe is all on Canva to plug and play that stuff, but we can go over the OM. Honestly, I've never used Build Out. I haven't logged into it. I know nothing about it, unfortunately. Steven, did you just roll your eyes at me?
No, because I'm going through the exact same thing.
Oh.
I'm learning, Megan, that was actually super helpful in guiding me where I needed to be. Build Out is the one that's plug and play. It's sort of intuitive. So kind of.
Give it a stab. Maybe
Yeah.
ask Megan for questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like 2 days into it. The reason why I stopped is I need to get down there and get pictures of this listing that I have, but I'm waiting for my signs to come in. So
Okay.
but I'll let you know. We can sync up if sort of figure this thing out together.
Okay. Awesome.
We pay for it. So
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Coach, I got an inquiry when I put the listing up. So it's zoned on commercial land, and I looked at all the uses, but they want to know if they can do an assisted living facility there. And it's right next to a bunch of medical services, labs, doctor's office, physical therapy. So it's just vacant land. And I did a little research, and there was another project 2 years ago that got some type of, forgive me if I'm misusing terms here, but they got some type of zoning change for the same amount of acres in that town to do residential care facility. So I was wanting to maybe package it that way because I think based on our last conversation, you know, retail is kind of, it's going to be tough to move this property. But since I got that inquiry from another agent on
What's
maybe doing that, then I wonder if that could be a possibility if I have, you know, a little bit of notes of that other conversion project that they did in the same city.
Number one, do you know without any question that you are within the city limits of Lincoln?
No, I'm going to call the city and I'll find out. But,
Okay,
but it looks
so
like it's right in the middle of like everything there. So, but no, I'll double check and verify.
so two things that we've gone over before, but AHJ, agency having jurisdiction. So make sure that you, because Lincoln's a little goofy and remote, make sure that you are 100% sure that it is in the city. Number two, whatever case study or precedent that you're using, make sure that it is also in the same agency having jurisdiction arena, right? Because we literally have properties like the Dutch Bros on Stockton Boulevard. The middle of the road is county and city.
Wow.
And in that case, with totally bizarre, I had to do a connection that was about 6 inches over on the other side of the road, in the middle of the road. And the county inspector came out and said, "Oh, I can't inspect that because it's in the city." And then the city said, "Oh, we can't inspect it because you don't have a building permit." And I can't get a building permit because my property is in the county. So the point
Wow.
being, I mean, one side of the street or the other can be the difference in the rule book that you're playing with. And especially something like a residential care facility, that zoning varies dramatically depending on where you are. But definitely an area of need, and you're right, that could be the difference between selling it and not versus retail.
Okay. No, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
What you sent me, that I have the address and everything on that you sent over, right?
Yeah, I was at APN, and then I sent you the previous agent's offering memorandum. I
That's
think I
right.
did refreshed it about like 30, maybe at about an hour ago. I think I might have sent it to you.
Okay, got it. Yeah, Lincoln's a good address, though.
Yeah, hopefully we can move it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I got a couple bites on it, so just gonna dress it up a little bit more.
Super. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Connect with Steven and learn build out, and get that, connect with Megan as far as the templates and stuff for the marketing as well. If you need anything else, let me know.
Okay,
Do
thanks.
you need new pictures and stuff up there since you're not on top?
Probably, yeah, probably. I have this guy who does like remote aerial stuff, and he's gonna put some type of video and stuff together. So, but yeah, I might need somebody there too.
Okay, got it. Cool. What else we got?
Coach, there's another one that we have signed. It's a foreclosure one, and we're getting it the foreclosure stalled out. It's in a place called Coffee Canyon, and it's a retail store, but it's got some like residential units behind it.
Did you say Hoppy Canyon, like
Coffee
beer hops?
Canyon. Here, let me get the actual. Send you the address to Trinity Center. I've never even been there, so let's see.
Trinity Centers, is that the name of the project, or
The city that this is in? It's like in the mountains somewhere.
down towards Yosemite or something?
Yeah, let's see. Like Coffee Creek, Shasta. Trying to look for a big city by Redding, between Redding and Eureka, around that area. And they have a retail store. I can email you I just put it up on, had CoStar put it up real quick. But and I had like a few photos from the agent, but they have a business as well on it. And so there's a business, a retail business, there's this general store. I think they have liquor licenses as well. And then they have some like couple units behind it, live-in units. And then they were kind of like, well, I want to keep, and they're like, hey, maybe at this point we should sell everything. But my next thing was going to tell them if, to sell the business, which I don't have that certification to do, is maybe try to package this up. Let me send you
Oh, I know where it is.
the CoStar listing that I have.
That's the middle of friggin' like nowhere.
Yeah. I'm not planning on going there anytime soon, but
They have an airport there. I've actually landed there
oh,
a
really?
long time ago. Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow. I thought that's where I haven't heard that name. And so anybody that's on our Shasta Lake property, to give you an idea, it's northwest of that in the mountains, quite a ways. I mean, that's a very cool lake up there, Trinity Lake. But I haven't. So what's the size of the property?
I'm gonna send you the link right now, but it is about 3,000 square feet, and then I don't know if that includes the measurements of some residential units behind it. So I'm gonna get more pictures and things like that. She just gave me like 6, and she wants me to like help her kind of negotiate with the trustee and move the foreclosure date out. It's like a lady from Southern California, like a private investor. And she had a number in Southern California, so we kind of bonded already. And we're going to be able to move it out and sell the property.
Nice.
2 acres. Yeah, I just sent the link.
How'd you send it?
Email. I can try to put it in the chat too.
Yeah, drop it in the chat if you could, real quick.
Okay, let me see. I can do that.
So this is a hard money foreclosure.
Yeah.
First position.
She has first position. Yeah.
Huh.
And it has the business, but she said like she didn't want to like sell everything, but now she's like, hey, maybe just throw in the towel and get this thing moved. It's just so remote. And then I guess the trustee lives there, and she's a real estate agent actually, and she's just been complaining and giving bad news in the town. It's just like spreading, like, oh, they're selling and they're not paying their bills and they're crappy people. And so like she's like, yeah, I think it's gonna hurt our business. So because it's just a small town, and that's probably like the talk of the town right now.
What's the business?
It's a store / like little bar restaurant. Let me
Trinity Center General Store.
Yeah, Coffee Creek Country Store is the name. I'm gonna try to put it in the chat here. I have it on my computer. This is on my iPad. Let me drop it in there. To myself.
Fascinating.
Just
kind of reminds me, Matt, did I see you here, of Uriah's property in Chester a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm here.
And if we have somebody for the business, we can I think Cam I was speaking to on another one, so we want to put Cam in for the business side if they're wanted to let that go too, to package.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's that is remote.
Yeah, it's totally in the sticks. I'll drop it in the chat for everybody to see. I think I have it now. I could do it. Let's see, copy link.
Yeah, it's an hour and 32 minutes from Shasta Lake. And when I say Shasta Lake, that's actually a little town. So for those of you that know where that is, that's be a fun motorcycle ride though. Don't go out there if you get car sick.
Yeah, we'll see if I actually have to go. I'm hoping I don't on this one, but it's a potential deal, so that's good. I just sent the link to everybody. Yeah. So we'll get more pictures, but yeah, the lender who also lives in the town, she said all they do is drink all day and this and that. And it's kind of funny, but
So this is a super example, and everybody pay attention to this real quick if you haven't been paying attention. Zoning is HC, Highway Commercial District, and you may already know this, Christopher, but what do you guys see when you look at that picture?
It's a old gas station,
yep.
tanks in the ground.
So, and when's the last time anybody of had conventional debt on it?
I think 2 ownerships ago, the lady who actually gave him the loan used to own it, and she paid cash for it. She's from I think Temecula, SoCal, and then she retired up there, bought it cash, worked the business, and then just sold it to these guys, and then she financed it to them, and then there's this huge balloon payment of like 300 grand that's due, and they can't pay for it, so they're like super behind. And
She seller financed it,
seller finance, yeah.
so no bank involved. That means no phase 1 or anything done.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the next question, Christopher, is has there been a phase 1 done?
Not sure. I can ask the when the last time was between the the investor who lent, who was the previous owner. I can ask her, or the newer owners or the latest owners.
What the hell did they do? Build a roof over the mobile home?
That's what it looks like. Or is that a second story?
It looks like there's an air gap in there.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do like a Matterport 3D over there. Is kind of my plan. If they, but like she kind of didn't. She wants to try to like refinance out of it. She's kind of stuck in a pickle, right? And so it's like, okay, how do we? But it sounds like they want to sell.
Got it. So, and this is in the interest of saving your time, and we're dealing with one in Shingle Springs right now that on a foreclosure, and the property came back dirty. And what is there, like 200,000, I think, in cleanup? So,
Wow.
and so when you see that potential of a previous gas station, what I would suggest is go back into CoStar and see when the last time actual bank debt was put on it, because usually somebody that's doing hard money or private loans, unfortunately, they don't know about this stuff. And as remote as this is, that's a kind of property where somebody just stops selling gas and pushes dirt into the tanks and calls it good, right? And what you don't want to do is spend a whole bunch of time and energy finding a buyer, then they go to the SBA or somewhere to get a loan, and they ask for a phase 1. They find out it was a gas station, and then phase 2, they want to know what happened on the tank removals, and you find out you've got a shit show like John had. Isn't that what you had, John? Yeah. John knows this. Is that PTSD? Yeah. So yeah, that initial look, anytime you, and also remember the one which this doesn't appear to have, but always watch for those lifts, those little circle fills of concrete where they years ago had a hydraulic lift to change tires or oil or whatever. Those hydraulic lifts are not what you want to see.
And it's just called a phase 1, or is there more to that, or if they don't know what
Yeah,
that is.
so
Yes, how-
and we should have we actually had, I think it's on video, we had an environmental engineer come in and talk to us, and I actually learned quite a bit that I was not aware of. But yeah, phase one real quick is it's a glorified title search, just to they don't go on site necessarily, they just look to see what historically from satellite pictures and previous business licenses and all that kind of stuff, what was done on the property. What would happen is that they would say, oh, this used to be a gas station, so we recommend a phase two. That's when during the phase two, they go in and may scoop up dirt and do samples and research when the tanks were removed, were they done properly, all that kind of stuff.
That was with Joey Adams, right?
Yes. Yeah, I've referred that guy several times since then, all over the country. Nice guy. If you don't have his information, hit me up, because he's definitely a resource for everybody. Cool. Anything else on that, Christopher?
No, I think that's a lot. I'll watch that video and check some of the zoning, and I'll just get more information. I think we're gonna put like a Matterport there, just so it help buyers to kind of see what's going on there, and maybe some other, get a photographer over there in that area and see.
So I have no idea what that thing was that you're saying. Matter report?
Hey,
Matterport's the 3D tour.
Christopher, so I found this app I want to tell you guys about.
Oh.
I've been using it when I go to like these buildings, and it uses off your phone, and you scan the walls, the floor, and the roof. It uses LiDAR, and then it gets you a Matterport. And I mean, not to be gross, but you can zoom in on the stains on the carpet and anything else. I mean, it's like amazing. And you can
Wow.
take that thing and spin it. It's the same thing. And it's like $100 a year for a membership, and it's just an app
Wow.
on your cell phone.
Only
Wow.
$100 a year. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
That's awesome. It's just everybody wants $15 a month or $9.99 or that stuff. No negative towards that, but I don't know what a matter report is or whatever word.
It was that 3D camera. You do the 3D tour, and then you kind of just walk. You can walk.
I'll send you one right now, Paul.
What's it called though? Well, how do you spell it?
Matterport is M as in Mary, A double T E R P as in Paul, O R T as in Tom. Matterport.
Matterport, like
Yeah.
you matter, and a
Yeah, all one word. Yep.
port. Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Am I the
popular.
only one here that doesn't know what that is?
No, I just looked it up.
Oh,
I've seen it
thanks.
before.
But
Huh.
that phone thing would be really cool.
Yeah, man.
Save a lot
What's
of
the
money.
thing? What's the thing called, Matt? Did you drop the name of it, or did you just tease us?
No, hold on. I'm gonna text this to Paul real quick so I can blow his mind real quick, because this thing's pretty nuts. Let me just text it to him.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It's super easy to use. And you can spin it and do whatever you like. Here it comes, Paul. So it's a Polycam capture, download free 3D model on Polycam. And it's from Phenomenal capital I Sickle 5224 is the owner or whatever. But yeah, pretty crazy. It's the first
good.
time I saw this technology was, yeah. And can you take it and spin it? So on my phone, I can spin it and do it. That's just this little office condo that I got. But
Wow. Can I go inside? Whoa. Oh shit.
tell me,
There's the
there's those
carpet
carpet stains. Don't go in the bathroom. I'm warning you right now.
How do I stand up? I'm like
Well, it's off your
break
cushion.
dancing on my belly or something.
If you zoom out.
Like EXP World.
Yeah.
And you just did this by taking pictures with your phone?
It's basically like a video walkthrough, and what happens is the LiDAR scans the wall, and you have to scan it, and once the blue or the purple shading is removed, that means that it's captured the image.
Kind of like when you do a panoramic picture.
Yeah, you have
You
to
gotta-
walk in a zigzag pattern, and then what I do with this is I take it and I paste it into ChatGPT and I prompt it, and then it gives me a black and white floor plan for the brochure.
How do I get out of here? I'm trapped. Ah! Oh. Wow. That's fascinating.
Earnest money deposit will get you out.
Wow. Huh. Okay. What is Cuba Casa is really good. I've used it before. Same kind of thing, Lewis? Is that Lewis?
Yes, I mean, I know that Robert, he also mentioned it there, but I have used this one before. And you just go into the property and just walk around all the walls. That's it. And then you send it to them, or you download the file, and it depends how much you want to pay. They're gonna give you a 3D, or they're gonna give you the floor plan. And I mean, I have been using that one before. It's really easy, really cool.
Huh.
Helps a lot for
Fascinating.
brochures and the flyers.
Yeah.
So they claim it'll do multi-unit detached. So you can walk around in the main unit and walk out to the auxiliary units and scan those. And you could set up for a second unit scan, but it'll understand how they're attached. And it'll do it'll do an overall floor plan and then one for each unit.
Who just said that?
Robert.
Oh, hey. That is fascinating.
Yeah, we used to use it also in construction, like in just scan before putting the walls. Like this, you have all the pipes, the electrical cable, everything on file. So in the future, if you need to act, you will go straight forward.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That is, you know what? That's amazing.
Excellent advice, Federico.
Yeah.
That's a great asset for the business to.
I have of the stuff that I've developed and built over the years, I've got boxes full of actual pictures. And then as it went digital, I've got like that wall, right? Well, good luck 7 years later figuring out what damn wall that is unless you tagged it, right? Let alone the boxes of pictures. But that being able to know where wires and pipes are in the wall, that would be amazing. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Hey, anybody got anything else? I'll close with one other point unless you got something better for me. Anybody?
Matt and I were talking about these MLSs. Matt, I don't know if you spoke with Coach about it, about getting coverage under Paladin so we can get additional marketing there in NorCal. Matt, I don't know if you wanted to chime in there.
I think Matt took off. I see him.
Okay.
Oh,
he had to run.
Yeah. So Paladin only has LA, which is fine for me. But
we have Shasta. We have Shasta as well.
Yeah, Shasta. But I was thinking Sacramento feeds with San Francisco. So I'm just wondering if Paladin can get
here's the deal. Number one, Peldon is he really likes us and our team. We do a lot of business and we take care of people. So what I would suggest is just ping Jeffrey and put my name in the subject line and tell him what you want and what you're looking at. Here's just so you understand, every MLS is not eligible for non-NAR member participation. So it's some of them it won't work for, but if it is possible, we can probably get it approved for you. So just put my name in the subject line and just say, hey, we're looking to see if we can join the MLS wherever it is, and let them know.
Okay.
And you can copy me on it as well.
Okay, I'll have Matt look in Sacramento because he said it might cover counties, and then San Francisco, they do non-member. I guess Ryan Rosas, I think he was in commercial before, or still might be, but he has the license. But he told me you have to go to Paladin. Paladin's the managing broker. So everything has to be done through Paladin to sign up. But San Francisco, I know, does the whole NorCal Alliance. But I'll check with Matt on Sacramento and see what kind of, if there's additional coverages, or Sacramento might have it all. So yeah, I'll coordinate with Matt, and then we'll get an email out to Paladin. And
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Copy me on it, like I said. Okay. Well, good seeing you all. I have a noon starting right now, so I'm gonna jump over to Tommy Tron. Good seeing you guys.
All right,
Happy
Coach.
hump day. And Friday, I am speaking down in LA at a big realtor group. But I'm sure I'll talk to Matt about getting everybody together anyway. So
All
have a
right.
great day. Talk to you guys.
Thank you.